Hello, welcome to Real Sense, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Aeiusny 296 watt hour portable power supply, and it has an output of 400 watts. Now the thing that made me review this device is the price, because surprisingly it's at $160, which I believe makes it the cheapest 400 watt power supply in Amazon, at least on the time of this recording. Now here's the front of the device. This is the AC out button. And as you can see, when you press it, it turns on the screen. And on the right side is the DC out button. And if you hold it, that turns on the LED light, which I'll go into more detail later on. Now on the bottom of the DC button, you can see the 4 USB ports with the 2 DC out ports. On the bottom of the device is the grill, and that allows for ventilation and cooling. Now this is the side of the device, and this is the back. You can see the fan for cooling and the 3 AC out ports. And on the bottom left is the input for charging, and there's different ways to charge this device. There's the solar, and it brings these MC4 connector cables. And later on in the video, I will show you what that looks like when it's charging through solar and how to connect it. And this device is compatible with a 40 watt to 100 watt solar panel. It's 13 to 18 volts. Now on the box, there's also the regular carport cable, as you can see here. And this is just your standard carport cable, which you can use to plug in and charge from a car, RV. Some generators have this port. And last but not least, there's the wall outlet connector. And you can expect the charging times to be anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. Now on a solar panel, the charging times based on the specs are 12 to 15 hours. So yeah, it's not fast charging. And for the price, you can't really expect to have quick charge or anything like that. But it performs well enough that the $160 is well worth it. Alright, so I just plugged it in, and you can see the battery indicator showing that it's charging. So when you turn on the AC button, you see it turns blue, and it indicates that the battery is being used. And if you turn it off, you can see it's still being used because I turned on the DC. So the screen has a status of what's turned on and what's turned off. Again, pressing down and holding the DC button turns on and off the LED light. Now the screen is very basic. There's no additional information regarding how many hours the device can last or how many watts are in or going out. It's just very generic information, but again, at this price point, you can't really expect much. Now in terms of weight and size, it's 7.5 pounds and 12.6 inches long, 4.92 inches wide, and 6.5 inches high. Now it does bring these 4 rubber pads at the bottom, and that allows the device to remain firm and not slip on you, and it works just fine. Alright, so the only con or real con that I have against this device is regarding the 296 watt hour claim. I have the Aeiusny 288 watt hour, and that one lasts about 2 to 3 times longer than this one. And that could be because various reasons, one of them being maybe that the claim is not really 296, they're just exaggerating. Or it could be that this generator is not as efficient, so most likely the internal inverter is not very good and it's very inefficient. But either way, at this price point, you can't really complain. Just having the 400 watt output is more than all the other cheap portable power stations that I've seen. So that makes this one stand out. All right, so now we're gonna do the light test. As you can see, I have my garage light turned on, and I'm gonna turn it off and turn on the Aeiusny. And you can see the light source is pretty good. It's bright, it has a wide area of coverage, at least for one LED light. And it's definitely going to be useful in any emergencies when the power runs out, especially down here in Florida where you get hurricanes, and typically that means no power for a couple of days, sometimes weeks. But if you have a solar panel, that would allow you to juice up this device every day, and that will depend on how much sun is outside. As you can see today, it's a very cloudy day and I think it's about to rain. But moving on, I'm just gonna demonstrate how to connect the MC4 cables. All right, so I had to connect it, so I'm gonna disconnect it and show you. So as you can see, the cable runs out of the solar panel, and you just plug in the MC4 cables to their corresponding connector, like so. And now you just connect the DC connector to the input. And thank you, Cat, for getting in the way. And you can see the battery indicator showing that the battery is charging. And like I mentioned before, the charging time for solar panels, or using the solar panel, it's max 15 hours. So, you know, typically you get a good 8 to 4 hours of sun time. So yeah, don't expect much of solar charging, or at least efficient solar charging. All right, so I'm gonna test out the Traeger grill. And the point of this test is to see if it runs the Traeger grill, and if it can get the grill heated. And if it can, that means the grill can be used during emergencies as well. All right, so now it's plugged in. The AC out is turned on, and you can see that the screen on the grill turns on. I'm gonna set the temperature and hit the red ignite button. And we're just gonna wait a couple of minutes, usually around 10 to 15 minutes. And if the grill starts heating up and there's smoke coming out of the smoke pipe, that means it works. So for reference, you can see that the battery percentage is 17%. So let's see how long it takes and how much battery it starts using up. All right, so it's been around 10 minutes and the battery percent is already 13%. So I decided to connect the solar panel, and that way it's getting some power in and also heating up the grill. But as you can see, there's smoke coming out of the smoke pipe, meaning the grill is getting heated. So yeah, I could use this device for emergencies and use it for barbecuing. So now it's at 12%, probably because the solar panel isn't inputting in enough energy, but at least we're cooking. All right, time for the coffee maker test. This is the Nespresso. As you can see, it's plugged in. I turned on the AC out, and I'm running the clean cycle, but you can see it consumed all of the power. So now this is not gonna work. And obviously this is not a powerful enough device for a coffee maker, mini oven, or anything like that. So yeah, the manual states that it won't work, so this was just a test. And talking about tests, this is the last one. I'm gonna plug in all of these devices. I got my phone, a USB fan, my tablet, and a laptop plugged in. So we're just gonna see if it runs all of the devices at the same time. Here in the back, you can see the tablet and the laptop are plugged into the AC ports. And if that works, I'm gonna test out if it does pass-through charging, meaning that while it's charging the other devices, I can plug it into the wall or input and see if it charges the battery at the same time. So let's start with the USB. As you can see, it turned on the fan and the phone, so that works. Now let's turn on the AC, and you can see the laptop and the tablet turned on, so that works as well. Let's try the LED light, and it works. So now let's turn off the LED light, and that confirms that all of these devices can work at the same time. Now I'm gonna try the wall outlet to plug it in and see if it does pass through charging, and it does. You can see the battery indicator showing that there's input, so power going in, and the battery is charging all the other devices, so pass through charging works. So that's really nice to have. So the Aeiusny 296 watt hour. In conclusion, the price point is what makes this a good deal. The only upsetting part is that the 296 watt hour seems to be an overclaim, or they're doing some kind of number play. So maybe the inverter isn't as efficient, or maybe they're lying about the 296 watt hour, but regardless, the $160 price point is really competitive. And yes, I do recommend it at this price point, especially since you can solar charge, use it in an emergency. If you like this video, please like, subscribe. If you have any questions, please write them down below. And thank you for watching. Bye.